Hey everybody, Roha360. Kind of wanted to come to you and talk to you tonight about relationships, and specifically I want to talk to you about the most important relationship in your life. As we grow up and society kind of tells us we need a soulmate, we need someone, we have to be with someone to complete ourselves, and evolutionarily speaking, that was true. We needed to find a mate and produce children, to farm, to protect ourselves, to have a tribe. And it seems as though technology has come forward or progressed a lot, but us as humans and our human brains haven't. The most important relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself. The relationship you have with yourself is going to be the longest long-term relationship. So telling yourself that you need to be with someone is just something that you believe. And I think a lot of times we end up getting into relationships that aren't healthy for us because we so badly crave to be with someone. We crave acceptance. But what we fail to realize is that we don't accept ourselves. Especially as women, we are guilty of giving up so much of ourselves for our children, for our husbands, that we forget who we are. I know for myself, it manifested itself into the point that I was willing to sacrifice myself and sacrifice who I was and ignore my deep gut and my conscience, and it caused a massive depression because I was afraid to be alone, and I lost who I was and wasn't even telling myself that I deserve better. So if you find yourself sad and out of touch, if you are not able to sit alone and sit quietly with your thoughts, I would encourage you to make that one of the first things that you do. Develop a relationship of love and of compassion and kindness for yourself. That is the most important thing you can do. So I know myself, I'm going through a whole lot right now. I've got a divorce. I've got a domestic violence situation that I'm getting out of. My house burned down. I owe the IRS like $600,000. I'm about to lose my farm. My business went belly side up. The list goes on. I've got this huge lawsuit going on with my neighbors. By all intents and purposes, you would think, how the heck is she handling all that? And why is she not more stressed out? And I'll tell you why. Most recently, I discovered the best relationship. I have the most wonderful relationship with myself. I have learned to love myself. I have learned to sit quietly and meditate and be with myself and be with my thoughts and trust myself. I was looking for someone else I could trust when all along I needed to learn to listen to myself and trust myself again. So what I did to start over on a repath of regeneration is I sat down and I journaled and I wrote out what I want my life to look like. So if you are feeling sad and not liking where your life is going, I would encourage you to sit down, sky's the limit, write down what you want. So I'm going to read to you what I want and what I'm going to try to do. I wrote down all my problems, and then I wrote down where I want to go. And you're going to see me develop, and I've got a plan to get there. Where are my... But without a purpose, without something you're striving toward, you're not going to get there. And you're certainly not going to get there if you don't aim high. Aim high and at least try to get there. But you're never going to get there if you don't try to get there. Where did I put that? Okay. So in 5 to 10 years, now these are lofty goals, but this is what I want to do. This is for me. I want to own a yacht and I want to cruise the Caribbean. Possibly do like charters where I am captain. I've always wanted to be a captain and I've always wanted to have a sailboat. So that's my thing. Maybe make doing monies as a charter to sail. Maybe that's a retirement income, or maybe I'm just sailing and helping the world somehow. I want to own a very large farm, which I have, and I'm doing my best. I've come up with a plan to try to save it. And I want to host country weddings and be able to be a part of people's events. I specifically want to be able to have a place for families that are grieving to gather and have a funeral. And I've built a big memorial garden for my son, and that means a lot to me. So I want to have that. I want to be extremely fit, So my goal is to be about 17 to 20% body fat. I've lost a bunch of weight this year, but I'm continuing to move toward those goals. And part of what that looks like is eating healthy, being mindful, taking care of myself in a way that I never did before. I'm always taking care of everybody else, and I've realized I need to take care of myself. And like I said, I can't tell you what that has done for my depression by realizing that I need to take care of myself and love myself, because I can't love everyone else if I'm not loving myself. I want to speak a minimum of 2 languages fluently. Within 10 years, I'd like to do 3. I've been working on, many of you know, I've been working on Spanish every day, and I'm getting pretty good. Cuando tú háblame muy despacio, yo entiendo, pero mi español está muy mala ahorita, but I'm working on it todos los días. Thinking about going to law school, and that's something I've always wanted to do. I felt like my husband held me back from doing it, but I'm definitely thinking that that's something I want to move forward with. I just got to figure out how that's going to work. I want to start another business that I am able to run on my own without having anyone else tell me how to run it, and run it with honesty and integrity. And that's one of the things I recently learned about. There's 2 different types of entrepreneurs. There are the types of entrepreneurs who run a business and their sole purpose in mind is profit. That was how my husband ran a business. We always had friction because the way I run a business is more with leadership, and I worry about people. I like taking care of people and fostering relationships. The money comes when you take care of people. And I am never again going to entangle myself with someone so that I can't run the company the way that I know it needs to be run. I have one potential business partner that I'm looking at doing something with right now, and I've got a couple of ideas. I'm not ready to talk about them yet, but I'm starting something. It's going to be very exciting, and my goal is to have the business within 10 years be an employer, giving a purpose and a meaning and creating value for at least 50 people. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to give jobs and meaning and purpose to at least 50 families. That's my goal for now. I ultimately would like to find my soulmate and find someone that I can love as much as I love myself. But my 10-year goal is, if that doesn't happen, I will never make a compromise again. I will not settle, and I'm going to be perfectly happy by myself. I likely may never get married again. If I do, that would be great. But really, I want to either be completely satisfied being alone and accepting that I don't want or need anyone, or maybe find a soulmate, which, like I said, I don't know if that will happen, because I'm still learning who I am, and I can't even know what I would want when I'm still I'm falling in love with myself and figuring out who I am. And then I broke that down into short-term goals. And so I would encourage you to write pie-in-the-sky goals and then short-term goals of how you're going to accomplish that every day. And I've got things that I do every day to work toward these goals. And I would really encourage you, life gets hard a lot of times, especially if you are suffering from grief, or getting out of an abusive relationship, or you feel like your finances are a mess, or whatever it is you're struggling with. Struggles are real, depression is real, anxiety is real. But you have the choice to either feel sorry for yourself in those circumstances, or to be a champion of those circumstances. Take the ball, and how I do it is write a list and say, I have to accept things are the way they are. I'm accepting that, but I'm not accepting that they stay the same. And I'm gonna every day work really hard to make them better, and I promise things get better, guys. So if anybody needs a word of encouragement or support, I would love for you to reach out to me. My email is roja360@gmail.com. This is how I manage stress and trying to make my life better. No matter how bad it ever is, it can always get better. And I hope everyone feels very encouraged, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.